Alrighty, now in this tutorial of Silica, where I explain the fundamentals of an RTS, I want to explain the thing called the RTS Triangle. As you can see, I have this here. Pretend it's a shield, a magical shield, shiny shield. And the shield is representing turtling. Turtling is when you build base defenses and you focus purely on being as survival as possible in the early game, where you build defensive units such as turrets, walls, and just units that can stop a rush. And a rush is what you do when you want to kill an opponent as quick as possible in the early game and ruin their economy. That's the kind of the goal. Either you kill production. Now, turtling is entirely designed to stop a rush. Now, you rush if the enemy are not turtling. So if they don't have any defenses capable of stopping an early game aggressive push, perhaps they're trying to tech up and get higher tier units too quickly. So you would attack them while they're vulnerable. Now the next one that they beat, which is a rush beats what I was just talking about there, we call that expansion. So we have turtle, rush, and expansion. Expansion is when you quickly expand to all of the resource points as you can, as fast as you can, to get an economical advantage, which in every situation that someone is turtling, they will win, because the turtle player is spending their resources on preparing to defeat a rush. So they're going to have less advanced units as quick as you, and they're probably not going to have as much land or information as you do. So in pretty much any ideal situation, if players are all on equal footing, this is what the triangle is. Defense, which is the turtle, will beat a rush, rush will beat expansion, expansion will beat a turtle. This is why it's so important to scout early to assess what your opponent is doing. And this is mostly only important in the early game. The late game almost always plays out the same for everybody, but the early game, this is vital to understand, so you know exactly what the point of your scouts is. You want to find what one your opponents are doing, and you want to choose the counter. If you see them building turrets and walls, or like just units to stop a rush and they're keeping them close to their base, then you build the defenses. In Silica, of course, this doesn't work because turtling doesn't exist. This just doesn't exist. If you're going to build units to prevent a rush in this game, then you may as well rush, because there's nothing stopping you, right? Like, there's no turrets, there's no walls, there's no early game disadvantage right now. If you're building an army to stop a rush, all you're doing is building an army that can rush and then not attacking. So right now, Turtle and Silica doesn't work. It is missing. So these are your only two options, which is expand early game, get an economical and tech advantage, and just lose to the person who decided to rush. So right now in Silica, you pretty much, if you're playing competitively, just rush. But this here is about the fundamentals of an RTS, and I assume turtling will be a viable strategy in the future of this game. So thank you for watching episode 2. Next, I'm going to be explaining how to expand effectively, and I'll slowly be going over all of these 3 different fundamentals.